I've been thinking. A bit dangerous, I know, but I do it occasionally. Injecting chemicals. I don't do this very often, but today I am. And most people would inject through the filling loop, I think, in which case the chemical would go into one expansion vessel in the boiler, and in this case back down there and into that expansion vessel, and very little of it would be absorbed into the system. So the correct thing to do is to try and get away from the expansion vessel and inject in the opposite end of the system. So with these Camco bottles you can inject into a radiator. That's not a bad idea as long as that radiator is working. And on this system, of course, I've got my very conveniently placed little... These valves here both do two purposes. One, they're air vents because the pipes go down when they go through the other side of that wall. And the other thing they're good for is flushing. In fact, I've just flushed through a couple of those loops. I don't have to flush the whole thing. Just shut the valves off inside the tops of the mixing sets and attach my mains pressure, in this case DAB powered pump to now that thing cleans systems. That has absolutely blasted the muck out of this system. It's only commissioning debris, but erosion, corrosion, instant erosion, corrosion, cleaning the inside of my pipes. When I put that on, I don't know what the flow rate was. I reckon we get about 20 or 30 litres out of the end of that pipe on the return loop. Certainly giving the whole place a good dousing. Anyway, I stray off the point of the video. So anyway, look, what I'm doing here is turning my system on. So there's going to be a pump pushing liquid around on there, changing my delta P across this pipe. That will cause all of my inhibitor to run off into that loop and back down, so that every last drop of it goes into the system to do its job, and pretty much zero should end up inside my expansion vessels. Saying that, the expansion vessels when they arrive are absolutely filthy, and one of the little tips I'd give you on these is to keep filling and emptying the pressure in the system, to keep pushing water into the vessel and out. And you'll see every time that goes in and out, the water comes out the colour of something it shouldn't be the colour of. The other interesting thing while I'm on that topic is if I plate separate one of these lovely shiny new Viessmann boilers, when I come back on the first service, system lovely and clean, water in the boiler horrible and dirty, and I'll flush it out on the first year service, and when I come back on the second year service, water in the boiler dirty, water in the system clean, and usually after about the third flush it'll stay clean. And I'm convinced that's coming from the expansion vessel, so corrosion on the inside of the expansion vessel. And it has occurred to me that maybe I should just disconnect the one inside the boiler and just use one on the outside. And I've wondered about the option of using potable water ones on the outside and throwing away the ones on the inside. And another reason for that is you get this mobile neutral point. If you've got two expansion vessels like this one here and one inside the boiler, where is my neutral point? It is wherever the delta P created by the pump decides it's going to be between this possible neutral point and that possible neutral point. So it's a little bit mobile, could be anywhere in this system here. Not that it's a big deal, but I quite like the idea of knowing where it is and it being just there. Well, really, I'd like it to be just there, but that's a different matter. Anyway, a bit of a rambly video this week, and but a few useful bits of information in there, I hope. And I hope that, as usual, has helped. And yeah, cheers.